This film is sponsored by New York Life and its dedicated agents, proud sponsors of NFL team highlight films. New York Life, the company you keep. In 1992, the Cleveland Browns under Bill Belichick took another step toward their goal of returning to the playoffs and eventually appearing in the NFL's greatest showcase, the Super Bowl.
Introducing the starting offensive lineup for the Cleveland Browns. Let me go! Jackson. At fullback, number 44. One time, number 1, get it! Let's go, man, let's go!
The season began on an ominous note in the Hoosier Dome, when quarterback Bernie Kosar was mauled for 11 sacks by the Colts.
Kosar, under extreme pressure, is going to be sacked again for the 4th time. Kosar in trouble, down for the 10th time today. And Kosar is taking cruel and inhuman punishment today.
After the shocking 14-3 opening day defeat, the Browns faced the Dolphins on a Monday night.
25, Marino back to throw, looks, he fires, corner of the end zone, touchdown, Mark Duper.
Cleveland quickly fell behind by 2 touchdowns, but the defense pulled together, reaching Dan Marino for a rare trio of sacks. In the 4th quarter, the offense led by Kosar finally got in gear.
Kosar to throw, deep over the middle. Jackson open, got the ball at the 35, inside the 25 to the 20-yard line. Bernie looking into the end zone, throws over the middle, touchdown, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson scored the Browns' first touchdown of the new season. And less than a minute later, the defense chipped in with one of their own.
Fumbles the ball, David Brandon has it, he's going into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
The huge crowd of 75,000 attending the home opener had come alive, and with just over a minute showing on the stadium clock, were further rewarded when the hometown team took the lead in dramatic fashion.
Kosar looking left, he might run, Bernie's in trouble, dumps it for a touchdown to Mark Bavaro. It turned him head over heels upside down, and the Browns have the lead with 1:18 to go, capping a remarkable comeback in this football game.
Incredibly, Kosar had accomplished the comeback on a broken ankle, but it quickly became apparent the comeback had taken place too soon.
13 seconds to go. Give off to Hicks. He is into the end zone for a touchdown. You talk about bringing a team back. Browns fans have to be stunned.
For the first time since 1984, Cleveland was winless after 2 games. After the disheartening Monday night defeat, the team traveled to Los Angeles for a game against the Raiders, with their star quarterback home in Cleveland. In his stead was backup Todd Philcox, who, in an error-free relief role, pulled the trigger on one of the greatest individual performances in Browns history.
Philcox, 3-step drop, looking right, throwing right on the slant into Metcalf at the 50, and he's gone. Eric Metcalf is gone for a Cleveland Browns touchdown. How about that?
While Metcalf scored 4 spectacular touchdowns, the defense racked up 6 sacks and 5 turnovers against the Silver and Black.
Marinovich in trouble, sacked, fumbles the ball. Rob Burnett has it at the 7-yard line of the Browns.
But on this sunny California afternoon, the real magic belonged to sensational Eric Metcalf. Due to Metcalf's dazzling day in L.A., the Browns finally had their first win of the 1992 season.
This stadium, boy, it's got a lot of history.
It sure does. My grandfather saw Babe Ruth play here.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He hit one out? You say he hit one out?
Yeah, he did hit the one out that day. He did. He saw him play here.
It's quarterbacks.
Huh? Who are the quarterbacks here?
Francis and Tomzak.
Francis Tomzak?
Francis Tomzak. Tomzak Francis.
Sunday in the NFL. It's great to be employed.
Because Phil Cox had fractured a finger against the Raiders, Mike Tomzak was Cleveland's third starting quarterback in as many weeks.
I just got out of crutches last week. I'm supposed to be the model patient hiding on the sidelines, so.
How long are you out now? 3 more weeks?
He's going to let me know this week.
Oh,
Hopefully get the cast off this week. Yeah.
With Bernie Kosar posing for pictures instead of quarterbacking the Browns, the Dog Pound turned its attention to another signal caller, longtime nemesis John Elway. This Week 4 battle with Denver was a defensive struggle with neither club penetrating the end zones. Elway was rudely introduced to Cleveland's newly improved pass rush. He was taken to the turf a total of 5 times. While Denver could manage merely 4 field goals, the Browns were held scoreless, a bitter pill to take after the euphoria Eric Metcalf created just 1 week ago.
Fumbled snap, Hansen. Fire drill, back to Stover. Stover looking to throw the ball, pops it into the middle. It is intercepted at the 5-yard line.
With a 12-0 loss to the Broncos, a tremendous defensive effort was wasted, and the Browns' record fell to 1 victory against 3 defeats.
Start of a new era here in Cleveland today. No more loss in Cleveland.
Buckle up, get after their ass. Best rivalry in National Football League. Cleveland, Ohio, Dog Pound.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Tradition. Everything. Everything you can ask for.
Hey, come on, you guys get out there, butts, go back into your lane. Then leverage his ass instead of trying to avoid, because he's coming all the way back across the field, all right? It's up, baby. It's prime time.
Let's go! Strike hard, baby!
He's in there. Everybody. Wait, let's get ready to turn on. Let's kick off a little bit. Right. Careful, right? All right, baby. Strike force on 3. 1, 2, 3. Strike force!
The hard-hitting Turnpike rivalry, hardly a safe haven for women or children, man or beast. Like hungry hounds, the Steelers bit on a Tomzak pump fake and quickly discovered 1 is the loneliest number when it belongs to Michael Jackson. But the keys to this game belong to the defense, which stopped the Steelers on a critical 4th and 1.
Steelers are going to go for it. Handoff, Foster over the stack he goes. I'm not sure that he got it. The middle of the Browns defense rolls up in unison. They stretch out the chains as far as they can go, and the Browns have held. What a job by the short yardage defense.
For the 9th consecutive quarter, the defense didn't give up a single touchdown and delivered the final knockout punch when Mike Johnson stripped the ball.
Mike Johnson drags it down, he fumbles. Stephon Moore has it at the 30, across the 35 to the 40, and that should do it.
Over 78,000 fans celebrated the much-welcomed win against a long-time division rival.
This is very, very sweet. Very sweet. Worth the trip.
I'm going to savor this one. I'm going to enjoy this one right now. And next week's a new story, new challenge. The Pack's going to bring it, but I think the Browns will bring it even harder.
Against the Pack, defense again prevailed.
This is a low block to the weak side. We got to get up there and get it contained and work on up the field right here, okay? He's going to try to cut our legs out from under.
What did you, outside? Huh? On the double?
No, I was inside.
I mean, went inside.
Well, I thought Wolfley and I were shoulder to shoulder.
This was an old-fashioned mud game with emphasis on power football. Kevin Mack ran for a pair of touchdowns in the 17-6 victory that evened the Browns' record at 3.
Another victory.
Not just another victory, Eric, for this was a product of the Browns' dogged defense, who again proved its bite was as big as its bark. At this juncture of the season, Cleveland had not permitted a single touchdown in their last 13 quarters in action. The streak came to an abrupt end the next week against the New England Patriots.
Here's Millen with time, throws a slant in over the middle of the 10-yard line, to the 5, to the 4, to the 3, to the 2. Touchdown, Patriots! As Kevin Turner took 2 Browns into the end zone with him.
Behind by 8 points in the fourth quarter, the Browns battled back and were poised for a breathtaking come-from-behind win with only 31 seconds left.
Tomczak looking, end zone throwing, pass is caught for a touchdown! It's a touchdown by Scott Galbraith, and the Browns have the lead! How about that? Galbraith is running like a madman all around the field.
Tight end Scott Galbraith's first touchdown of his 3-year career gave the Browns their 3rd straight victory and 4th win in the last 5 games. The biggest victory of the entire '92 season occurred in the Astrodome, when the underdog Browns pulled off a stunning upset by completely dominating the Houston Oilers.
Tomczak to throw on 2nd and 1, going deep for Horde, got it at the 20, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown Browns! What a surprise as they threw to Leroy Horde deep out of the backfield, something the Browns had not shown the entire season.
Leroy Horde's 2nd quarter catch was the Browns' first touchdown. Their last came in the 4th quarter, off beautiful ball handling and touch by Tomczak, and some determined running by Mark Bavaro, reminiscent of his glory years with the Giants. While the offense was proficient, the punting of Brian Hansen was amazingly accurate, pinning 4 punts inside Houston's 20-yard line. Thanks to heads-up special teams play, the Oilers were hampered by horrible field position all afternoon. But this was a game the Browns again won with defense. It transformed the run and shoot into 3 plays and punt, forcing Houston to go 3 and out on 8 consecutive possessions. Warren Moon, looking dazed and confused, completed only a dozen passes for 70 yards. The Oilers didn't even earn a first down until the 3rd quarter.
Here's Moon back, looking over the middle, throws, pass caught at the 22 and fumbled. Let's see if it's a live ball. The Browns pick it up. The Browns have the football, and it's Stevan Moore at the 50. Moore going down the far sideline. Stevan Moore with an escort into the end zone. Let's see if it counts for a touchdown. It does. The Browns have stunned the Oilers again as Ernest Givens coughed up the football, and Stevan Moore took it more than 75 yards for a score.
This win was the year's best.
Got the Bears today. Kick their butt.
In Week 12 against Chicago, the Browns showcased their record-setting pass rush with a never-ending onslaught against the Bears' unfortunate young quarterback, Peter Tom Willis. For the Browns, a season-high 7 sacks by a big play defense that also recorded 4 turnovers.
Here's Peter Tom Willis back in the pocket to throw. Swings it out on the right side, picked off by David Brandon. He may have a touchdown. David Brandon running untouched across the 50, to the 40, to the 30. Touchdown Browns on a spectacular play. 91 yards by David Brandon, who always seems to be around the football when there's a turnover.
If Mike Ditka wasn't pleased by the 92-yard touchdown interception, imagine what he thought about Eric Metcalf's 75-yard punt return.
O'Connor carrying to Terry Metcalf at the 25, cutting right to the 30, turns upfield 35-40 into the clear to the 50 as Gardocki to beat. Down the right sidelines, he's going all the way to the touchdown, Eric Metcalf. 75-yard punt return, Eric Metcalf.
It was a welcome win for the home team, especially a pair of happy former Bears like Jay Hilgenberg and Mike Tomczak.
There's nothing sweeter than winning. You can't put a price tag on winning.
The next Sunday against Cincinnati, Bernie was back.
Bernie's going to throw. Going to go for Michael Jackson. Deep. Jackson at the 5. Touchdown, Browns! A 45-yard bomb on a sensational catch by Michael Jackson.
Although he played in the Bear game after an absence of 11 weeks, it took Kosar another week to regain form. With a team record 83% passing, the Bengals were first to feel it.
Throws over the middle. Metcalf has it. Breaks a tackle at the 30. He's inside the 20 to the 10. Touchdown, Browns! A bolt of lightning from Eric Metcalf has broken the game open.
A dog pound. Give him back. Eric had so much momentum going, he went right up the hill into the fence of the dog pound. They didn't want to let go. That's the closest anybody came to Eric Metcalf.
Despite well-deserved accolades for the offense, the defense refused to be overshadowed.
Klingler under pressure. James Jones sacks him. He fumbles the ball into the end zone. It goes, and the Browns should have another touchdown. They do. Mike Johnson coming away with yet another turnover, and the Browns have forced turnovers in 27 of their last 28 games.
Cleveland had avenged a previous loss to Cincinnati with their 7th win. Unfortunately, it was also their last. The dark days of winter provided painful memories in '92. After the 37-point win over the Bengals, the offense almost completely disappeared, and the team lost its last 3 games. But others were even more excruciating to witness. 4 games the Browns had seemingly won against playoff opponents were lost in the final seconds.
Tomczak to the shotgun, retreats back into the pocket, pumps once. Tomczak going to throw the ball on the run. End zone, touchdown, Michael Jackson! Up and over the cornerback, Gilbert for the score.
Cleveland took a 1-touchdown lead deep in the final quarter. Then, with snow falling along with the Browns' fortunes, the defense suffered a fatal lapse.
Deep down the middle for Anthony Miller. End zone, touchdown, San Diego. They're an extra point away from taking the lead. 45 yards on the touchdown bomb.
The stinging 1-point loss to San Diego was the toughest to take. Then 1 week later in the Metrodome, the Browns lost another to a division champion after outplaying them for most of the game.
And Wilcox to throw. Quick out pattern off the hands of Bavaro and picked off by Carl Lee. He's going to go in for a Minnesota touchdown.
The Vikings scored 2 touchdowns within 16 seconds to win. And for a team that appeared to be a playoff possibility, the window of opportunity had all but slammed shut. The worst was yet to come. Against Houston in Game 15, the offense pulled out all the stops.
And Wolfley goes in motion. Fake handoff, Kosar to throw, end zone, touchdown, Ron Wolfley. How's that for a bit of trickery?
How's that for a blind squirrel finding an acorn?
You said that, I didn't.
Oh, I tell you what, they've run him on a couple pass routes this season. The Oilers just let him go.
Wolfley was naked out there. There wasn't an Oiler within 10 yards of Ron Wolfley.
In a game that had must-win written all over it, Cleveland came up with another surprise.
In the backfield, Jones the up back, Mack the tailback, fake handoff, Kosar throws, James Jones, touchdown Browns! Unbelievable, James Jones and Ron Wolfley have scored today.
Due to touchdowns to a pair of unlikely targets, Cleveland had a 14-3 lead with less than 3 minutes remaining. Then Houston pulled off a play that will give the defense nightmares for a long, long time.
2nd and 23, Carlson loops the screen to White. Running room at the 30, 35, 40, breaking at the 50, and Lorenzo White is gone. Lorenzo White may go all the way, and Terry Taylor saves the touchdown.
Considering the season that had preceded it, with 34 seconds showing, the end was almost inevitable.
Throwing into the end zone, touchdown, Ernest Givens.
Blowing coverage from the get-go. Nobody lined up on Ernest Givens.
They completely lost Givens, and there is pandemonium on the Oilers sideline. And the Browns have let it get away.
A nearly unbelievable defeat had eliminated the Browns from the playoffs for the 3rd year in a row. In 4 dramatic cliffhanger defeats, the Browns let victory slip away.
Screen. Who had the back on the screen? I did. You got to work through him, and we got to make a tackle on the guy and don't let him run for a big play.
Nonetheless, The defense was a unit that set 5 team records, including the fewest touchdowns and the most sacks. A veritable swarm of brown jerseys produced 48, highest in team history. The true trademark of a Belichick team is turnovers. In his 2 years as coach, Cleveland has a +20 takeaway ratio.
25 fumble the football, and the Browns have it.
Last year, the team ranked 2nd in the league with 20 recoveries.
And he's fumbled the football, and Cleveland gets it. Holy Toledo.
Harmon, and he's got Stephon Moore all over him. Drops the ball, and the Browns have recovered.
Mike Johnson.
Hard running across the 25 and fumbles the ball. There's the big turnover the Browns were looking for. Lost the handle on the football as he was going down. It was stripped away. I think the Browns have the ball. A huge turnover. And the Browns do have it on the recovery.
The Browns' opportunistic defense. A big reason Cleveland took another step up in 1992. Though only 26 years old, Michael Perry is the dean of an unusually young defensive line. One of the most dominant defenders in the game today, he is perhaps the quickest lineman ever to play in the NFL. Whatever trick he employs from his vast repertoire of initial moves, Michael Dean is in his opponent's backfield almost simultaneously with the ball. On occasion, Perry puts aside the swim and the spin and relies on sheer strength to get to the quarterback. Michael Dean Perry is a 3-time Pro Bowler. Next season, he'll be teamed to tackle with another longtime All-Pro, Jerry Ball, who was acquired from Detroit in a stunning pre-draft trade. Ball's impressive quickness is similar to Perry's and should free him from constant double teaming. Huge Jerry Ball is expected to be a very large plus for Cleveland in the seasons ahead. In his 3rd season, number 90 defensive end Rob Burnett came of age, getting bigger, stronger, and faster. He led the team with 9 sacks last year. Another youngster on the line is Anthony Pleasant, who's been starting at defensive end since being picked in the 3rd round in 1990. Pleasant and Burnett are part of a grand plan to exploit Cleveland's great youth and depth on the defensive line. A rotation system will include one of the finds of the '92 draft, Bill Johnson, number 94. The rookie was projected as one of the top 15 picks before a pre-draft injury dropped him into the Browns' lap in the 3rd round.
He stood here at the line of scrimmage. He runs to.
Dude, with arm.
He runs to.
It was arm. I was on the nose.
I know.
Johnson surprised everyone but playing in every game but one, and showing ample evidence that he will still be the star he was originally projected to be. Still another fresh talent in Cleveland's stable of young linemen is number 96, James Jones, who started every game since being a 3rd-round choice in 1991. A new name added to this mix is Dan Footman, the 2nd-round choice from Florida State. An exceptional athlete, the lightning-quick pass rusher was coached by the Browns staff in the Senior Bowl and was rated as a top 10 pick, one of the most talented down linemen in the college ranks. The heart of the linebacking corps is two time-tested veterans and best friends, Mike Johnson and Clay Matthews. The oldest defensive player in the entire league, Matthews has been a mainstay at right linebacker for 15 seasons, ever since he beat out Gerald Irons in his rookie year. One of 5 Browns to play in 3 decades, Matthews set a new Browns all-time record with 70 sacks for his illustrious career.
Clay Matthews setting a new sack record as a member of the Cleveland Browns, and how big was that?
Congratulations to Clay.
Clay's longtime partner in crime, defensive captain Mike Johnson, led the team in tackles for the 4th time in 5 years. Number 59 was a rock at middle linebacker, chalking up double-digit tackles in 14 of the 16 games. MJ's impressive season resume? A career-high 176 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 8 passes deflected, an interception, and he tied Len Ford's 38-year-old record for fumble recoveries with 5. With the departure of number 31 Frank Minifield, the cornerbacks will be number 24 Terry Taylor and number 48 Najee Mustafa, who was known as Reggie Rutland with Minnesota. The veteran free agent holds the all-time Viking record for longest defensive touchdown.
The far side by Rutland up the sideline.
That's a touchdown.
35, 30, 35, 50.
Rutland's 97-yard interception against the Rams attests to a healthy habit he's developed over 6 years as a pro, a nose for the football and the end zone. The signing of Mustafa adds proven quality to the cornerback position. Happily, both safety slots appear solid. Sure tackling Stephon Moore, number 27, is at strong safety. While Eric Turner, number 29, the second player picked in the 91 draft, is at the free safety spot. Turner had his moments in 1992, but more is expected of him if the Browns are to continue to move up in the season ahead. No NFL team can be a winner without hard-hitting, emotional special teams.
That's all. We're setting it up. Remember, be under control. Dominate your lanes. Everybody, God, let's be physical.
Cleveland's special teams are physical, thanks to the talents of players such as Richard Brown, Ron Wolfley, Harlan Barnett, and Randy Baldwin. Another key member of this art form, known as special teams, is punter Brian Hansen, who ranks 2nd in the league in positional punting, nailing 28 inside the opponent's 20-yard line. His 73-yarder against Denver was the longest since Gary Collins 30 years ago.
Hansen hangs up a beauty, sending Marshall in full retreat, and it goes over his head at the 20, stays in bounds, rolls to the 2, to the 1, to the goal line, batted back to the 2-yard line, and that's where the ball will be down.
Place kicker Matt Stover will return next year and attempt to improve on a season in which he converted 21 of 29 field goals, over 70% for a career-high 92 points. Bernie Kosar seemed to take the field with a wing and a prayer the past few seasons because of offensive problems. For the bald facts are, this was an attack that stumbled often and frequently came up with mud on its face in the red zone. The offense's low production is a problem of which the coaching staff is well aware.
Well, I think overall the area that we need to improve in as a team is to score more points, yardage-wise, turnovers, so forth and so on, you know, we were pretty competitive, and you know, I think if we can up our point production, that'll help us.
One of the staff's targets for improvement is an offensive line that simply didn't get the job done the past several years. The team's goal? To stop the carnage on Kosar and company. Important steps have already been taken.
Let's go, guys. Come on, baby.
The trade for 7-time All-Pro Jay Hilgenberg brought stability in the form of a gnarled-fingered, gap-toothed 12-year survivor of the NFL wars. The Browns' man in the middle started all 16 games after being acquired on the eve of the opener. Next year, Hilgenberg is set at center, and number 69 versatile Dan Fike returns with his ability to play 4 of the 5 line positions. Tony Jones, number 66, will continue blocking the opponent's best pass rusher at the blindside tackle. Talented 2-year starter Ed King will slide out to tackle from the guard spot on the right side. Adding potential as well as depth is Chagrin Falls native Bob Dahl, number 72. Further evidence the Browns are dedicated to keeping Kosar out of civvies and in uniform came from the draft, and their number 1 pick, All-American center Steve Everett. At Michigan, Everett was a throwback in the Hilgenberg mold, a warrior who shrugged off injuries to anchor the Wolverines' line. With Cleveland, he is projected to play some guard and eventually succeed Hilgenberg at the center position. But the most significant addition is a well-seasoned free agent guard.
A very, very good acquisition of Houston Hoover to plug one of their guard gaps. I mean, Bernie Kosar really has been running for his life for quite a while. And I think the Houston Hoover signing, you know, the guy started 73 games for Atlanta and he's still a young guy. I think that that's an excellent signing and is really going to boost their offensive line.
The signing of Hoover was vital to the Browns' master plan, for it added a proven NFL starter to the lineup.
Get me Hoover. There he is. That's your touchdown. You caused that touchdown. That's a great job getting your ass out there.
Hoover was one of several important offseason signings for the Browns in this, the NFL's brave new world of free agency. From Tampa Bay, they reached in a thumb and pulled out the plum passing partnership of Vinny Testaverde and Mark Carrier, number 88. With a receiving corps thinned by injury, Carrier's presence on the roster is a welcome relief. Over his 7-year pro career, he's been a valuable go-to guy, as attested by his 15 100-yard games and 27 touchdowns. Both Mark Carrier and Vinny Testaverde should serve to upgrade the Cleveland offense by bringing much-needed depth and experience to a unit the Browns are determined to improve.
I think the one thing that they're going to need to do better, and we've been saying this about Cleveland for several years, they just have to get more of a deep threat on offense. You know, Michael Jackson has to come through. A Lawyer Tillman type guy has to come through to really be able to stretch a defense.
Looking, throwing deep, way downfield for Michael Jackson. Caught at the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
With his long, lean 6'4" frame, Michael Jackson has learned to stretch a defense.
Here's Tomczak, pumps once, throws deep right side, Jackson open, leaping catch, end zone. It should be a touchdown for the Browns, and it is. Looking downfield, going to throw deep for Michael Jackson in the end zone, leaps, makes the catch for a touchdown.
Tomczak back to throw, throws deep into the end zone. It is caught by Michael Jackson.
Kosar with time, throwing deep left side for Michael Jackson. Jackson with a leaping catch. Into the end zone for a 69-yard score.
That was a thriller.
Lawyer Tillman's brief career is one beset by serious injuries, spending more time on IR than on field. Prior to 1992, he had only 6 catches over the previous 3 seasons. Last year, however, Lawyer finally had his day in court, proving himself a dangerous deep threat by averaging 20 yards per catch.
Tomczak going deep, left side, pass caught at the 20 by Lawyer Tillman to the 5-yard line. A 52-yard strike. Going deep for Lawyer Tillman. Got the ball at the New England 15-yard line on a rolling catch. Tomczak turns. He's going to throw from the end zone. Tomczak throwing deep over the middle. Lawyer Tillman with a great catch. What a grab by Tillman.
Since he was drafted in the second round in 1989, the Browns have been waiting for Tillman to succeed. They might have to wait some more, but this time they know he's very much worth the wait. At running back, the Browns have a bevy of big backs in Tommy Bardell, Kevin Mack, and Leroy Horde. A trio of hard workers and hard runners.
He's lined up behind the line, and he's coming straight down, so when I get right here, I can't get back to him. Right.
Last year, Horde again showed that when he gets the football, good things happen. He'll get it more in 1993.
I love it. This is great. Dog pound's great.
His rookie season was a learning season for heralded top pick Tommy Bardell.
You can edit that part out.
But Touchdown Tommy showed flashes of brilliance.
Here's a handoff going to Bardell, a fullback, trap play. Bardell runs over tacklers. He's in the open. It's up to Green to bring him down. 35 yards for Bardell. And there you got to look at the young man out of Stanford who runs over people a la Larry Zonka, a la John Riggins.
One short Bardell run against the Dolphins was reminiscent of the great Jim Brown.
Handoff Bardell trying to sweep the right side and forward lean or not. Bardell is able to spin to the goal line. Touchdown Browns. And they're not going to give it to him. They're going to say he was down at the 1, and I don't believe that.
They didn't give it to me. I wanted a replay on that one.
Okay, Tommy, we'll give it to you. You decide if you made it. A replay shows with his strong driving leg power and balance, Bardell's knee never hit the ground.
Tommy Bardell with second and third effort got to the 1-yard line, and I thought he was in.
The third member of the Browns' power elite is number 34, Kevin Mack.
Kevin Mack across the 40. Stiff arms a man at the 45 to the 50. Into Houston territory at the 35 to the 30 to the 25. Kosar throws to Kevin Mack over the middle. He knocks over Chris Spielman at the 45. Bolts inside the...
As an extra added ingredient near the goal line, defensive lineman James Jones was inserted as a blocking back.
Line up in the I formation. James Jones, the up back. Mack, the tailback. Hand off to Kevin Mack. First down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown Browns.
While Mack, Bardell, and Horde bring brawn, Eric Metcalf offers speed.
Draw play to Metcalf. He eludes one Steeler outside of the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Cook races on, and Metcalf is down the near sideline all the way to the 39-yard line.
That is what speed will do for you out of the backfield.
Eric Metcalf is a hybrid, with the flying feet of a scat back and the supple hands of a natural receiver. His amazing 4-touchdown performance in L.A. showed no one is better at catching the ball in stride.
Phil Cox back, short drop.
This elusive blur is another reason the Browns expect to step up next season.
I think Cleveland, through sheer Bill Belichick and Art Modell will, is going to challenge both Pittsburgh and Houston. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Browns won this division.
You're looking at really a potentially very tight division race. I think all 4 teams are capable of, beating each other on any given day and beating a lot of other people in the league. And like what happened to Pittsburgh last year, they got off to a good start, got some momentum, and had an 11-5 season. And I think probably any one of the teams in that division is capable of having that type of year. I hope it's us.
Floater to Metcalf. He'll have a return from the 25, outside of the 30, across the 35, 40, 45, 50. One man to beat. Metcalf on his way at the 30. Goodbye. Eric Metcalf is gone for a touchdown. All he had to do was get past Chris Gardocki, and that was a no-doubter.